like a paper toy. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, no, no, no. When they smile at you, darling, and wink, it's a lethal force that'll bring you down. Trying to get you tipsy like a drink. Love drunk girls all over town.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Rumbi.
Welcome to
It's
Layered.
We're in a long distance friendship that started 20 years ago when we were in high school.
We'll be talking about all things life, love, family, anything and everything else under the sun.
Delve deeper with us because in life, you know, Gine, my layers. Mm-hmm. Lay it up. 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 Lay it up.
You can tell Rumbi is hyped today. How are you, boo?
I am good. I am great. We're talking about a topic that I enjoy. And
girl, you know I do.
We have the expert in the building.
What
are we talking about, Amanda?
This is going to be a key episode because fashion, honey. Fashion. Apologies.
So if any of you do not know, Amanda is a stylist, okay? She's a fashion, I don't like the word fashionista. It's not the right word.
But yes, for this episode, I'm a fashionista.
She's a stylist, so, she be knowing. We, for our whole friendship, we always talk about fashion,
yes.
Share, like looks, when people be serving us the looks.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore,
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, man, I'm so hyped. So let's get right into it. What is fashion to you as someone in the industry, as an individual, and style? Can you tell us?
As an individual, I would definitely say expression. Fashion is equal to expression for me. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, what are you trying to say to me, honey? Mm-hmm. When I see someone wearing something, I'm like, what are you saying? Like without talking.
Yes.
And I think like style is very, very personal. Like that's where you get to go beyond the fashion, beyond what the look is. You put a touch of you on it. And that's why you can wear this. Two people can wear the same dress and it can look completely different because it's got that extra pizzazz. I think that's what the style is. Sure. To me, that's what it is. What about you?
I think for me, they say don't judge a book by its cover, like i.e. take a person for who they are. I think in the same breath, though, we underestimate that people do want to be observed a certain way by how they look. Like if you look at someone who's goth, typically what do they show you? It's like the black, dark hair, dark eyes, dark lipstick, black clothes. It's like saying, this is who I am. So if you're going to come to me and talk about pop culture, you're in the wrong space, honey. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it is an expression of self. Fashion is an expression of self. Style is the individuality, as Amanda says. It's like, this is who I am, separate to the world, how I take up space and how I move in the world. And style is fashion comes and goes. Style is timeless. Time is stylish.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Style is timeless.
For sure.
Yes.
I think Rumbi gave me way too much credit because really some people have it naturally, and Rumbi, you are one of those people. Like,
thank you.
You have always been, ever since I met you.
Yes.
I mean, and in high school, things were tough in those khakis.
Things were very tough.
But, on the weekends, I also kind of live to see a bit of people's personality, You're like, oh, that's what she chose to wear or chose to bring from your wardrobe.
Yes, for sure.
It's always followed us. How do you think your style has evolved from when you were young, high school, uni, and now?
I think when I was younger, I felt I wanted to be a bit invisible, if that makes sense. So I kind of just went about my life. Like, people don't pay attention to me. It's okay. So I kind of, my style was that in a way. And I remember my sister used to laugh at me. Oh gosh. She's like, why do you dress like that? Like, she legitimately said that to me. Like, why do you dress like a Kwan? And I'm like, oh, sorry. And I think it was also to do with trying to hide my body, because you know.
Yeah, it's hand in hand with body image.
You know what I mean? Body image, right? But then I also got, like, I woke up and I was like, why is everybody looking like everybody else? Like, let's, like, you know, and I really
switched it up
and, you know, figured out what works for my body, what I like to see on myself. And yeah, it's really, then it took off. I ain't looked back since. I've been like, this is it, you know, type of thing. So in high school, then it started coming out a little bit more as I grew older, for sure. Same thing in university, you know, self-expression. But never, I don't think I've ever been the self-expression, like, where it's like, look at me, check me out. It's more just like, this is who I am. That's how I always wanted to be. And what about you? How has your style evolved?
I probably, when I was younger, the opposite of you. I wanted people to be like, like I always experimented. And I always, even at that young age, was more of a chameleon, because obviously I grew up around boys. So there were the hand-me-downs, like the shorts and the t-shirts, and my brothers couldn't really fit, and you're like, but I'm a girl.
What's happening here?
You know, so, but then I would be happy to wear that, but the next day I'd be happy to switch it up and wear a pink dress, you know. So I always felt like I could do anything. And I think because, as you so eloquently put, body image ties into it. Because I was taller than most of my kids around me, I already stood out. So I almost thought, you know, if I'm going to stand out, I'm going to be looking good whilst I'm at it. Like, subconsciously, that's just how and my mom was really into fashion. So that just helped propel that as well. High school, I find high school probably to be the time when we didn't have much access in Zimbabwe, you know? We relied on South Africa. We really did.
100%.
So, like, I felt like you had to make do with little.
What you got.
Yeah, I knew I didn't want to do the whole matchy thing all the time. But I also, and I did want to stand out, but not in a wild way, but just in my own way. So I think high school provided that. Despite not having much. So then when uni came, the amount of coins that went into looking looking good.
Take all the
coins. I think we spoke on this on the finance episode, regrets. I don't regret it. But definitely maybe should have toned down the buying of clothes, and especially because I used to work near an outlet. So I would go for like lunch breaks or before work or after, or coffee or whatever. And you'd see, you know, when you see sales all the time, you almost get numb to it. And I would always be shopping. Like, it was, it got ridiculous. So then when I moved into more my career, and obviously then trying to run my styling business, I think I've learned a lot on restraint and on classic pieces. And so I've done the trendy life, and then now I'm morphing into something else.
Any other regrets? So you spoke about, like, you know, dropping all the coins because you're like, I got access now. Like, any other regrets on style? And what would you say?
I think probably being too trendy, because then like a year later you'd be like, I can't wear this. And then not only trendy, but the trendy with the combination of fast fashion. So even if you did want to wear it, it's like the wear and tear on the garment is just like, you can't. So I think that's my biggest regret, because the amount of clothes you go through, you just really realize, whoa. Like, every time we moved house, I would be like, what am I doing with all this stuff? And then especially when I moved from Perth to Melbourne, I was like culling, and now I had to be brutal, right? I was looking at all these clothes, like, I love them all. I think I became a bit of a hoarder. So it's been interesting, like, now trying not to go back to that.
I'm with you.
Style-wise, as in the look, I was always looking good.
Get
don't have regret,
girl. And
obviously, if you look at the photo now, you're like, oh hell no, what was I wearing? But I know it was looking good.
It was Poppington
on that day.
So what would you say your current style is? Like, you know, having moved from the trendy, and how would you define your style, if at all?
probably, if at all, still have that chameleon vibe, so I can just do something a bit different. But I think laid back is always like a vibe.
Yeah.
That runs through. Yeah, like chilled, but still.
You do it well. You do it very well.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And your style regrets, Rumbi, are there any coming?
Hey. Yeah. My Lever's dance dress, when I look at those photos.
But it probably was popping for 2006, y'all.
This is true. Because people's dresses weren't that much different. But yeah, I think that. No, I can't say anything distinctly like, oh my gosh, what we know. Yeah. I think I also always, when I dress, I need to feel comfortable in what I'm wearing. I've never, maybe once or twice, worn like the... Can't breathe, can't move, can't do anything in this dress. Sleek.
Yeah.
Dress, but it's just not my vibe. It's not my style, really.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't hit the club in any other dress for a while there.
Yes, this is true. So, I mean, I was just doing what everyone else was doing, but no major. I think I'm glad. Like, I've just always kind of done my own. I think the good thing about being a bit of an outsider or like awkward girl growing up, high school, whatever, is that you're just like, well, it is what it is. Like similar to you, it's like, well,
yeah,
I ain't trying to be popular, so here we go. Type of thing. So
funny you say that though. I do remember in high school, sometimes the popular girls would come and ask you or me or others for clothes.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so you see, we got style.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying. But
look at us propsing ourselves.
People are just gonna be like, these girls need to take a chill pill. But then my current style, you know, I think is definitely, some things have stayed true, which is I really went into my mom's closet. I love some of the pieces that she has, like oversized, like type of tops or shirts, you know, that classic 90s type of thing. Loose pants and kind of flowy is definitely my thing. Definitely gravitate towards 70. I love the 70s era. I love it because the silhouette I think works well with my hips. And there's certain things they do. Maybe not the bell. Actually, bell bottoms would work too because they flare out, right? But there's something about that free-spirited flower child thing that I'm really drawn to. Almost like the bohemian feel, and then 90s, 110%. Like I'm a 90s child.
Well, that's why people say call you Erica Badu. Tell people that they call you Erica.
So when people see that, you know, you wear your hair natural, you're a bit, you know, I don't even know what you call me, but like, they'll be like, oh, so you must love Erica Badu, you know, you're into Erica, like that's your girl. And I'm like, to be fair, I think Erica is special. I don't really understand her, but it's okay. Like I let her do her thing.
But that's just conformity style. We have to talk about that later, but that's just definitely conforming style. People just associate boho chic or whatever with okay, that's Erica. On a black girl.
But
have you been into trends?
I think I've never been someone who can afford to be too much into trends, like in terms of in a monetary sense, because with trends you're always buying, right? It looks cheap then. It looks cheap then, but then it, like you said, it goes out of style, and then you have to up the game for the next trend, and then so I've never been someone who's big on trends. There are things that you'll gravitate towards, but it's like we're actually talking about it like with Amanda, because we did a little call like with her about my closet recently, which was so much fun. So for anybody looking for a stylist, yes, shamelessly plugging Amanda here.
Oh yes,
I'll let you go. I'll let you girl. So we're just talking about things I like, and I sent her some things I enjoy, I appreciate, and you know, the flat forms and the, you know, chunky heeled shoes. Like she was like, oh, do you like it? You know, because it's trendy right now. And I was like, I always liked it. I remember my sister actually even saying, girl, that's so you, like wearing such a random shoe, like, but you would like it. Like, and I'm like, yes, I do. So some things I've always appreciated, even when they're out.
And fashion is cyclical, so
it's
makes
definitely
sense.
cyclical. So yeah, so I definitely gravitate to some things that are trendy, but never been one to follow trends, which I think you, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Would you never try any? Like some you're like, Lord, no, I'm never trying that.
Trends that I would not try.
Or a style, you're like, maybe
never say never, to be honest.
Yes.
Because the thing with fashion and trends, it might look like back in the day, like, oh, that old thing, oh, I could never, but then they switch it up in an interesting way as it comes into a new trend. So I would say never say never. The only thing I could think of right now is those Yeezys, you know, the weird shaped, the new ones that are out here.
Oh, the newer ones. Yeah. They look like
hey, watch me next time, Ruby, rocking them. Be like, I'm out here with the Yeezys, if I can even get or afford them.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they weren't so expensive, yeah.
But I think maybe I'm not a big fan of the bandage dresses.
Yes, I was about to say, for me, it's that whole Fashion Nova phase.
Yeah. That I will say honestly, it's not my calling. I maybe don't have the body for it, or just I believe you should be able to be happy in the clothes you wear and feel good, and that doesn't make me feel good. And you, any trends that
I'm the same with you. I think you have to try and see. And sometimes what you think you don't like, you see it done a different way, and you're like, oh, it's actually not that bad. And our bodies have also changed, you know, about the decades you spoke about. So obviously you look at things differently. Like I probably could have worn a crop top without thinking twice in my 20s, maybe in my 30s. I'm like, I'll wear it, but with a higher,
waist.
So it's like you change things. Yeah. So one, I think I would never try are those bandage dresses and the tight, like it's just too
much. It's too much.
The Fashion Nova type, no offense, but it's just, for me, it's just.
It's not your calling.
It's not my jam. It's not
your calling for sure.
Yeah.
And what are your inspirations? Like, style inspirations, celebrities, friends, family.
Celebrities obviously probably the easiest because you just like everyone will know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But like I love. This sounds so cliche, but I do love Rihanna. I think because she does do the chameleon look to a T.
Well.
Like you just never know what she's gonna wear. Sometimes she'll just walk up in a business suit and you're like, okay. And sometimes she'll look full on grunge. Sometimes she'll look. So I think I like that as a Black girl specifically, she doesn't let that hold her back. You know, she would rock the rock band tees with jeans, ripped jeans. You know, so like I like that she encompasses being free and being confident, because I think that's where you have to start with whatever style you're going for.
Yeah,
I like what Sierra's and Gabrielle Union, what they're doing these days. I'm like, they've had a switch up. I like it. I'm really enjoying it. Where, they're a bit older, but they don't look old. Does that make sense? So it's like
they're not competing with the youngins. They're not like trying to do too
They're not doing the Fashion Nova, but at the same time, they're not. They're not wearing their age. You know, these are girls in their 40s, 50s, right, or whatever. But like, it's like they're not. And they're mums, and they're not letting that look mumsy and have that I've given up. You know, you can tell they're still slaying, they're still trying. So I think those three always circulate. Like I like seeing what they're doing, and especially for Sierra because she's a tall girl. So I like to see how she rocks it as being tall. Friends. I've never really had like a go-to, like, I have to always see what Ningi is wearing. But when you are looking good, I could not be like even more of a hype man. Like I will let the world know that you look good. Like I will, So I feel like I'm one of those people who like, I'll be honest with you, if I'm rocking, if I like what you're rocking or not, but not in a to put you down way, if it's negative, but just in a, that you could have paired that with this. I like that. Like I like things that, and I also let people surprise me. Sometimes I think you can be so set in how someone should look, which is why I like what Rihanna does, where she just switches it up. You never know. So I think with my friends and family, or friends, family is another thing.
Savage.
Being in Zimbabwe, Limitations are not our friend. And also we never get to really explore and experiment within our own space. We're always borrowing from other people. We're always, South Africa saves us, as I said, when we're in high school, it still saves us till today. I feel like we see things on a mannequin and we just copy and paste. So
that is true. You tell me that.
And it's not even about limitations, because I said in high school we had limitations, but we still managed to carve out our own style. And I feel like, in Zim, it's a weird space.
Yeah,
Fashion.
it definitely is.
Still evolving.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you. Like, Gabrielle Union is killing it right now. I don't know who her stylist is, but they came through hot. Like, and also she's working with one of my favorite brands currently, Fear of God. If you do not know them.
I remember you showing me that. Oh, yes.
It's just chef's kiss. Like, whoo, those pieces, my gosh. And they ain't cheap at all. But if one day, whew, it's just beautifully well-made, tailored, classic pieces. Love. Solange was my style inspiration for the longest time.
I remember that.
Just because she challenged the notion of looking current and like in terms of the trendy, but really like exploring. First she started with print, then she went with oversized things like oversized coats and like classic cuts.
And even the colors, she wasn't afraid of color.
Absolutely.
Or neutrals.
For sure. So I will always have respect for her. Ryan Destiny, I mean, it's just,
especially with that skin.
Yeah, like I just yo. So those are some of the people who I look to like for inspiration. But there's so many, of course, like it doesn't end. In terms of family, my mom's wardrobe, I already told you I'd been there. So, and my mom used to make like batik, like tie-dye, not tie-dye necessarily, but batik clothes, printed clothes, and she had a beautiful wardrobe. So I have some pieces that I have. Some I left when I was coming because I didn't have enough space. And my cousins, I had an older cousin, like she used to rock the like 90s look. And I'd be like, one day I want to be like you. Like,
it's always nice when you have that cousin. And you're
And I feel like
an auntie.
Yeah. And I feel like I still revere her. Like I still have that thing for her because it's like, it's from when I was a kid. Like, oh man, her style, she was Poppington. And so that, and then apparently I remind some of my great aunts, like my grandmother's sisters, of an aunt of mine who passed away. And my mom was like, yes, you like things like she did. You like the finer things. My mom was always telling me. But yeah, so there are different people that I look to. And friends, I think, yes, I definitely have friends who maybe I wouldn't wear something like that, but I look at them like, snap, okay. So like Amanda, for me, her style is, she's the chameleon, but comfort, how she mixes comfort with like this elegance and this like effortlessness. Whenever I see Amanda, she just looks like effortless, but like still I don't know how you do it. And then I have other friends like different style, and you're like, okay, snap, I see that. So it's beautiful. I can definitely appreciate.
It's nice as well that we got to go to unis, probably not in Zim, because I feel like we got to explore. I sometimes think had we stayed in Zim, I wonder what our style would look like. Would it? Yeah, it's kind of like and also access as well helps because then you can try different things. I do remember being so angry. I remember like at my mom's funeral crying the hardest because my dad was just like to my mom's family or this family, just grab whatever, and they do. And like kugova hembe mbachka, if you it's just such a big thing in our culture. And I remember thinking, man, like, and I was young, obviously 14, not gonna probably want to wear what your mom was wearing, but there was so many classic pieces. Now I think of all the denim jackets, all the 90s vibe, and you're like, man, but it's just one of those things that's probably like a regret that it wasn't perceived to be. We're not sentimental people.
Yeah, no, we're not.
So I don't think my dad would have thought, let me keep a few pieces for. Actually, what they did was keep a few dinner sets. That shows you how patriarchal it is. They kept a few china pieces so I can be in the kitchen
cooking. That's all you need to be doing.
But they didn't then stretch their sentimentality far enough to be like maybe a jacket or two or a blazer or two. Because my dad used to travel a lot for work. So obviously he would always buy her things and she loved shopping as well. And sometimes I always think it would be nice to have a piece or two that were like from her.
Yes.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I get you. I think. And
is there any style you admire but you feel isn't you? Like you look at them, you're like, whoa, that really works for her, but I could never do that. Or him. Could be a guy.
There's this guy, what's his name? Wisdom. He's on Instagram.
TikTok, yes. Oh, yes, Wisdom. Oh my God. Yes.
He just... And he also does a lot of the 70s, but in a way that I wouldn't necessarily do myself. It's just like, but I'm always just like, like every time. I'm just like, give it to me. Give me that, that funk, that. So definitely his. I think, honestly, and people can judge me for this, Kim Kardashian pushes the envelope on certain things, and I'm like, I could never wear like leather or plastic head to toe or whatever, but I can respect that she'll wear it and it will look good, because I know someone else gonna try it and it's not gonna be the same story, you know what I mean? So that, and then there's also Hailey Bieber. She really manages to make things look easy. Her style, she really just makes it seem like, I just threw this on, or like that's why she's a model, not me. So yeah, you know what I
like it. But you can admire from afar, because Wisdom, you said he does.
Yeah.
Like, and even for a guy, I would think it would be very challenging to go into his space and feel confident, especially a heterosexual guy, because you would feel judged. If you wear bell bottoms, what are you? So
but he
does
kills
push
it.
the boundary. He kills it.
And also like 60s style, like Mad Men style. Love. It's not me, but love. I mean, I would borrow certain looks for sure, but it's beautiful. And you, is there anyone else?
For me, mine's going to be super random and just ride with me here. But Princess Diana.
Oh, yeah. The current era we are in.
Exactly. And I think for me, it's because she, even though she was a royal, whatever, started out being a royal, she didn't conform. So she still was pushing, she was still, and I like that, I admire that. And I feel like a lot of times when you look at even like the whole cycle shorts, biker shorts, t-shirt look, she was rocking that too, So it's like things like, she's the ultimate cyclical. If you look at her looks from then now, you're like, wow, we're wearing these clothes, like all of them. So I think I like that she pushed in her own way in a fun space. Like she made it fun, like not looking frumpy. And so I think back in surely the royals were probably looking frumpy, and she was like,
she made it chic.
So
for sure.
Yeah, so I really, really, I mean, it's not me, not everything that she wears is me. And I think at her age, like with 2 kids as well, probably a bit of an older style than what I like, but I do admire it.
She killed it. She killed it for sure.
It's timeless, because those photos look like they were taken like yesterday.
She really was. And then, which, we talk about trends, and then obviously that leads into the conversation around fast fashion, how fast fashion is killing our planet. Because now fast fashion has obviously created access where there never used to be the access. So my question then is, what are your thoughts on fast fashion and fashion? I was speaking French. And slow versus slow fashion, and your thoughts around that, especially being someone in the industry, essentially. Yeah.
I feel it's definitely a necessary conversation. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't just be like, well, I have to be trendy and it's cheaper and it's all these reasons that sound superficial now. You really have to be consciously buying whenever you're buying whatever you're buying. Because I think it's like there's a crazy number from like Zara. I think they do from concept to execution 9 days. And that's crazy. So they think of an idea, they do it, they do all the designs, and then they have it in store within 9 days. And that's insane. That's insanely fast. You know, people who do trend reports when you're doing, all the trends, spring, summer, autumn, winter, they're done in advance of the season that you're not in. So to think of stores doing 9 days is like, or even
That's
2 weeks is
wild.
like insane, right? So I feel like in some ways, but I also think because of social media, people want to consume, because when we'd see it on celebrities back in the days, back in the actual 90s,
didn't have a chance.
Yeah, by the time you saw it on the magazines or whatever, you would literally just wait your turn until it trickled down to you. But now, if Kim is selling her stuff direct to consumer, you don't have to wait, So it's like, it comes with the repercussions of that, is that now we do get things that are like it's too quick, you don't even think of it consciously, you're just buying and buying. Consumerism is so high. So I am becoming more and more like a supporter of secondhand or vintage clothing or thrifting, whatever you want to call it. Some people are getting annoyed by that because they feel like it used to be a space for people who couldn't afford. So
yes, but now it's driving up prices, of course.
Exactly, driving up prices. It's so it's such a, we're not there yet. We're not where we're meant to be. It's still a work in progress for sure. But I think as a consumer, you can't ignore the fact that you need to be addressed. And I really do believe in, before you go shopping for anything, even if it's just 1 or 2 pieces, to go through your wardrobe, really look, is there something I could wear already? Is there something that, okay, instead of me wearing it, could I donate it? Is it still in good enough condition to donate? Is there something that, like, just to make more capsule wardrobes rather than like just stuff?
I'm with you.
That's where I'm currently at, like just trying to curate more streamlined.
And
you don't need all this stuff.
And it's so important to give away, and I've always been ain't no shame in my thrifting game. Sure. Always, whether it was through friends, like, and that, like, I have an amazing friend, and she would always be like, oh, I saw this, I have this, I think you would look great in it. And that is a form of, like, I guess, secondhand, of course. There was no shame in my game. In Johannesburg, I would go downtown to go, through the bales, like Mabero. Even in Zim, it's Anampedza Namo, and those,
Exactly.
Ain't no shame in my game. Pieces. If you wash that ish properly, you'll be good. Or just fix the button, or fine
for
type
sure.
of thing. And I think then you really get pieces that are unique, and and people will be like, oh, that's amazing, as opposed to like, oh, I saw it on 10 other people.
Exactly.
I think fast fashion works, for access, for sure. And if you haven't had access for a while, like coming from Zim and into a new environment, it's like, you're like, oh, now I can get it too. I don't have to wait. So there's also, there's a balance tied to it. But they both have their place. Unfortunately, with fast fashion, it's having a detrimental effect on the environment. So that also brings another element to
like those shopping halls where you see influencers buying like
so
a whole
many
week, and then they do like a haul every week, and you're like,
was literally
maybe do it seasonal, maybe. But because celebrities are also now being tied into fashion houses, like Beyonce, Ivy Park, Skims, all this stuff, and they come out every month, then these influencers have to do hauls for every single different one.
If I tell you the amount of H&M and Zara spring hauls I've seen on YouTube, I'm just like, dang, yo, son, like, whoa, like, you get what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Do you like shopping, though? That being said, even while being conscious, do you enjoy shopping?
I think I cut myself up already by saying I used to shop a lot. You know what? Shopping with purpose, I like. I'm not really someone who mindlessly just goes, oh, I'm going to go window shopping. No. I go with intent, with purpose. I know what I want. I know what I need. I know which gaps are in my wardrobe before I go. So, and I mean, that's something that obviously when you are styling, when you have a stylist, they can help you with. Whereas just unconsciously shopping, I'm not really into that anymore. So like, if I'm going to look for this, and And I feel like, yeah, when you're trying to curate a smaller wardrobe, that's the only way you can do it.
For sure.
I do get frustrated when it's too busy or so I try to like go during the week or at a quieter time. I'm very like, I get anxious when there's like lots of people and you're fighting for things. I'm not like I was so happy when we finally got to the States. I'd heard about Black Friday ever since we were young. When we finally got to the States, and I actually said to myself, we have to be in New York for Black Friday. Like I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, I was so relieved to find out that it was the whole week. They had extended the sale.
Got you.
I was like, so actually when Black Friday came along, apart from electronics, I think, when it came to clothes, there was the same sale they'd had the night before.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that like was such a welcome relief for me. They didn't have to go fighting elbows.
Yes.
I'm not that kind of. I think it should be an experience where you pamper yourself and you really take your time to decide, are these the pants the right fit? Or is this top? You're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
So the conditions have to be right. But yes, I do like shopping.
Yeah, no, I don't have that calling. I'm not shopping. I like to look good, but I do not enjoy it for the same reason.
Do you like online shopping then because of that?
Yes, but then sometimes you can't see the quality so well and fit so well. So it's problematic. But yes, I think if I just knew, like it just knew my size and the color and shape, then I would definitely do online shopping all the time. Yeah. But that being said, I often find myself forced to shop because I'm in desperate need. I need the thing. As opposed to being like, okay, we're working slowly our way up. So I have to work on that. But shopping,
work in progress.
Like going through things and then they don't have it, then they don't have this size. Then you find something, it's just, But I'm working on myself.
I must say I do like shopping in different spaces. So when I travel, I always shop. Because I find like you're getting different looks, you're getting different vibes. And then when I'm also seeing it in my wardrobe, it gives me memories, right? Like, I got that from South Africa. I got that in London. I got that in. So I do tend to shop not as much when I'm locally here in Australia, only if I really, as you said, need something there's a gap. But when I'm traveling, hell yes, one suitcase is totally dedicated to new fits, girl. New fits.
For the new fits. For me, and I also don't like malls. I don't like that like you're in. Like I like those open outlet mall type where it's like you go into a shop and you can exit and leave and go home. Not the ones where you're in, then you have to find the shop and you're just going around.
It's like a maze.
Yeah, I have problems.
You're like, no. But you know what? Talking about fast fashion and shopping, what's your feel on designer? Or dupes or luxury, like what's your feelings about that whole space?
Elitism.
Because that's also like a pusher for fast fashion. People want to keep up, like Balenciaga. I think those sneakers that had the sock with it was a sneaker. And then Zara. Then the next day or a week later, Zara had their own version.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about that? Designer dupes.
I think designer dupes make it accessible to the population to be like, I can get it too. But then it's also like creativity, like you're just plagiarizing someone's creativity, right? But at the end of the day, we know like the cycle of fashion is like high fashion, they create and design. It finds its way in it finds its way into magazines, and then it's simplified into a way that, well, now not even magazines, social media does it for it too.
Yeah.
And then it's simplified by fashion houses for the masses so that we can feel like that, but we're not going to wear high fashion things every day type of thing. So it's definitely, that's what trends and fashion is. I mean, do your thing. If it's going to make you money, do your thing, fashion houses. However, I feel like then there's a lack of creativity. I feel sometimes if you're just copy pasting. So where's the creativity? And we complain about, even some of these luxury brands stealing ideas from like African artists or, design, like from all over. So there's that.
And like it's not ghetto. It's ghetto when it's on a black person and not when it's, when a fashion house.
But then where do you draw the line between inspiration and copying? Like it's so blurry when it comes to creativity. But as for fake designer,
would you indulge in luxury, you reckon, for yourself?
If I had the money, I'm sure fear of God. I'm getting in there. Sure. I think there's always there's a space for luxury. I think, though, I'm cautious about it because it breeds a level of you are other and you can't have elitism. We spoke about this before. Yeah. So which makes it tough. But I think there's nothing wrong with having a few pieces, because if you can do it and you can afford it and are not, going to bed hungry because you bought it, sure. But yeah, it's complicated. It's complex. Then you get like fake designers, right? Like people who sell knockoffs and things like that. Yes, so other people can have, which, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about that, for instance?
Girl, it's such a weird space because one of the things when you're styling someone is budget, right? So obviously that's one of the very first things. So obviously if you have a client who's like, I want your services, but I can only afford such and such, or my clothing budget is such and such, and then they want lots of pieces, you're not really gonna, it's like, okay, you can either just stick to the budget and get them 2-3 good quality pieces, or, because even thrifting, the problem is you don't know what you're gonna get when you go. Which some people enjoy, they never know, it's like a surprise. But if you're doing like a styling for someone, you want to know that you're going to be filling those gaps for them,
Yes.
So sometimes that's when shops like Zara and then H&M come in, because then if someone says, I need a new workwear wardrobe, and I only have whatever amount, then you think, okay, let's go to Zara, we'll get different colors, we'll get different, prints, we'll get different. So then it's tough, because I can also understand the designer's point of view, that they come up with the idea, whether it's stolen from someone else for all we know, or whatever, it's still theirs for that amount of time, and then to see another store just get it cheaper would be a bit like, I feel like they're always chasing their tails. So it's such a weird space to occupy. I feel like social media has made it accessible. Before, when we were kids, it was like more classes within the way you dress. But now we're like, no, everyone can have anything and everything. So this is the other side of that, where it's just all blurry now. And like when it comes to luxury in general, there's a certain space for it. Like I remember when I was in Paris and I got to go to like the proper houses where they put all the like Swiss lace on wedding dresses, and you see these gowns that are like 40,000-50,000 euros, so they're like hand done, and you see them really, the ateliers really working on it. You're like, okay, you see the craftsmanship, you can appreciate it, and you feel the material, you can feel the difference between like organza and like cheaper chiffon, or so then you realize it's an art form that is like, yes, it's a piece of clothing. Like the Met Gala, for example, is always good for them. You see these classic couture pieces, so it's like there's that space too. So then we like things. We like things.
And I was about to say, I ain't gonna lie, ain't no shame in my game. I also love me some H&M and some Zara.
Exactly.
So help me, like, my games too.
So I think that's when style comes in. Because that's when you know when to say yes and when to say no. Because then that's when you're not just grabbing every single thing you see. And you allow yourself to evolve, but you allow yourself to also go, that's not really going to fit with what I already have.
And for me, the quality of the material or how they sewed, like you become more aware, because then you're like, if I wear this 3 times, game over. Like, why would so you think about that.
Exactly. And replicas is a big thing. Like you go to those, like in China, obviously they have grading. What type of replicas? If Vietnam was the same, and you think, okay, is this okay? And I think in their culture they think, well, if I can copy it well, it's
fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. But then it's also like, I wonder if I had designed something. But then some people say imitations is a form of flattery. So it's like,
it's layered.
There's a lot.
It's very layered. And last but not least, let's talk about our home country. And style. I will let you leave the floor. Has Zim style evolved, good or bad? How we doing?
I wouldn't even say a love-hate relationship, but I know hate is a strong word, but I have
dislike.
Mainly on the dislike side, relationship with Zim fashion. Woo, woo, woo.
Tell us.
Sometimes I feel like, did we miss the memo? Like,
was there even a memo before? Like, we weren't even at the meeting. We were not invited.
And it's not even with Western clothes. Like, I'm not even gonna go to Western clothes, which we can't do. Even with our own, like, if we get proper fabrics, mazambi as we call them, they're like an outfit made. The sizing, the fit, the style, the cut, the color. Sometimes it's just always just like, okay, so what was going on here? And we're very into just talking about dupes. We're very into like lately I've been seeing a lot of people wearing Balenciaga t-shirts, and I'm like, I know they're not Balenciaga or Versace. I know they're not Versace t-shirts. Stop it. Just get yourself a plain t-shirt. It's okay, boo. It ain't Gucci. We know it ain't Gucci. So please, can you just stop? Like, and I think that's what bugs me. You wanna fool people, but it's like you're not fooling nobody. I feel like fakes really would do well in Zim kind of society because you just want to show off, right? Yeah. But it's like it's not necessary.
And then if I will touch on the Western clothing, like Amanda said, we depended a lot. Like my parents would buy us clothes when they traveled, or from SA, or like depended heavily on that. And
Zims love Mr. Price.
Yes, the heck. But for me, I think even when people have access, when they have money now, firstly, if you look at the game, like influencer game, the clothes they wear, I'm like, how is that influence? Sorry, this is now coming. Do you get what I mean? It's just dated. It's so dated.
Too dated.
So like, I don't know.
It's aging as well. Very aging.
I don't know where we missed the mark. Then you have people who have access from overseas. Then it's like they just wear the whole mannequin, top to bottom. And you're just like, seriously? Like, it's like, there's no effort to bring personality. There's no effort to bring stuff. It's a lot. And
the matching. Oh my God. I don't know who told us that we need to match from the head. Literally, like if you're wearing a little hat.
Or the hair color. Or the hair color.
It's just like, okay, I know you like red and black, but you didn't got to do it like this. Like, everything has to match. And even if you do like a contrasting color, they'll be like, hey, you see match? It's not matching. And it's like,
color blocking. Remember when color blocking came in?
I just feel like we literally missed the memo, and then we play catch up when we go to these different countries. And some of us land when we do the catch up. We land and we find our own, and some of us just stay stuck there. It's a problem.
We're always lost, never found.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Maybe you and I, Ruby, when you go back home, we need to do a workshop. We need to start.
People were like, who are you, boo? Why you tell me to?
Yeah, it also works in that space. And I think also this whole notion of Sunday bests and going to church and but it almost makes people feel like they save their outfit for a special occasion. Yes. So I feel like it just perpetuates people not really exploring their style because they're just like, this is my outfit for church, this is my outfit for, and it's like, and then it also pushing into like people being extra conservative doesn't help. Don't show this, don't show that, otherwise the man will lust all over you. So it's like all those things.
It's just layered. It's so layered.
It becomes a shameful thing.
And I think then when it's also that those older figures telling you this is how you should dress. You should dress like this. And then, it's a lot. But we could say a lot.
I'm so happy that we got to have this episode. I know like some people would think it's fluff, but really fashion and style are like, without even saying a word, people just gauge who you are, fairly or unfairly. That's how it works. If you have any questions, any comments, any sort of tips even for us, please, or how fashion is wherever you're based, let us know. Because obviously seasons also come into it. Winter fashion, my gosh, that's a whole vibe.
For sure.
And our shout out for this episode is obviously someone that I had kind of seen back in the day. Then Rumbi reintroduced or reminded me of this beautiful model.
It's Nyasha Matonodze. She's a UK-based model, famously known for her campaign with Louis Vuitton, I believe, a couple of years ago. And then she stepped back from the fashion industry and now she's back. But yeah, she's ripping Zim hard. She's flawless, gorgeous, gorgeous girl. So she's on Instagram, Nyasha_Matonodze. We'll link her information below. Shout out to you for ripping Zim hard and so beautifully.
We are loving it.
We love it. And I'll also shout out Miss Amanda right here, you know, who is a stylist in her own right. So you can find her on Instagram, I.am.whom.I.am. I am whom I am. You can see the link in our on our It's Layered Instagram bio. She's there for if you need to revamp the wardrobe or just need help or you need some tips. Like she's the girl. And what I love is she's very much about style for you as a person. She's not trying to impose any other. She wants to get to know you, understand you, who you want to be or what you're trying to do, and styles you accordingly. So
thank you, Rumbi. I'm so humbled. I wasn't expecting that.
So
FYI, people will be like, this girl had planned this.
No.
So thank you so much.
It's only right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much. Hit us up on our Instagram, It's Layered, or email us. Details will be up. We love y'all so much. Thank you for riding with us. Amanda, as always, a treat, a pleasure. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be careful of those islands.